The first time he knocked, I thought it was a mistake. 3 short knocks, not loud, but sharp, deliberate. I checked my phone. It's 3 a.m. I live alone on the 5th floor at end of the hall. No reason anyone should be at my door at that hour. I didn't get up, didn't even breathe too loudly. Just lay there, staring at the ceiling, waiting for something else to happen. Nothing did. No footsteps, no voice, just silence after those 3 knocks. The next night, same thing. 3 knocks, 3 a.m. This time I got out of bed, crept to the door, and looked through the peephole. No one. Empty hallway. Still. By the 3rd night, I was waiting for it, sitting on the couch with the TV off, phone in hand. I started recording before the knocks. I wanted proof. 3 a.m. Knock, knock, knock. I jumped up, opened the door fast. Nothing. The hallway was quiet as always. I looked left, looked right. Nobody. The lights buzzed overhead. My neighbor's door across the hall, 507, was closed. I checked the video. No knocks. Just me staring at the screen, waiting. Then, on frame, me jumping up for no reason. The sound didn't record. It was just gone. The knocks kept coming every night after that, always at 3 a.m., always 3 of them, always the same rhythm. I tried to confront my neighbor, Langley, the next afternoon. He was in his 70s, gray-haired, always smelt faintly like cough drops and musty books. He opened the door just a crack. I asked, "Have you been knocking on my door at night?" He just blinked at me and said, "No, I'm asleep by 9, then shut the door. That would have been the end of it if not for what I saw that Friday night. I didn't wait inside this time. I hid just around the corner from my own door, crouched low, phone in hand. 2:59 a.m. I watched Langley's door creak open. He stepped out, barefoot, wearing a thin hospital gown, not pajamas. His movements were stiff, like he was being operated by strings. He walked slowly to my door and raised his hand. Knock, knock, knock. He didn't look around, didn't pause, just turned and walked back into his apartment and shut the door. When I tried to show the footage to someone later, it was blank. The file wouldn't open, corrupted. The next morning I told the building manager. He barely looked up from his desk. "Langley's a little off. Lost his wife a couple years ago. Probably sleepwalking. Happens." I asked, "You're not going to do anything?" He shrugged. "If he starts screaming or lighting things on fire, sure. Knocking, not my business." The next night, the knocks didn't come at the door. They came at my bedroom window. 3 of them, soft but clear. Knock, knock, knock. I live on the 5th floor. There's no balcony, no ledge, nothing. I didn't look. I didn't move. I didn't sleep. The following day, I didn't leave my apartment. I stayed up, stared at the door, at the window, at my phone. 3 a.m. came again. This time I looked through the peephole as the knock started. Langley was there, standing, still as stone, his hand by his side. He wasn't knocking. He was just there, staring directly at the door, not moving, not blinking. Behind him, and I swear to you, behind him, just out of clear view, there was something else. A figure. No details, just shape and shadow, hovering close behind him. Too close, like it was standing inside him. Then Langley turned his head and smiled, not at me, at the thing. And then they both walked away. Or maybe floated. I couldn't tell anymore. I didn't sleep. The building manager found Langley dead 2 days later. Recliner, eyes open, Died of a stroke, they said. He'd been dead for at least 48 hours, which didn't make sense because I saw him outside my door the night before. After they removed the body, I asked if I could go into his apartment. Claimed I wanted to pay respects. The manager gave me 10 minutes. His place was dusty, sparse, a single photo on the wall. Him and a woman. His wife, probably. But I noticed something else. Behind his door, along the wood, were long, deep scratches, like someone had been trying to claw their way out. I left. Didn't pack, didn't finish the lease. That was 6 weeks ago. I moved to a new city, new building, top floor. But I still wake up at 3 a.m. every single night. And 2 nights ago, there were 3 knocks. Not on the door, on the wall behind my bed. And last night, the door handle turned. I didn't go back to the apartment. I left the keys in the mailbox and drove until I saw a different skyline. Found a short-term rental in another city. Changed my phone number, didn't tell anyone why. But some things follow you. Sleep wasn't one of them. The first few nights in the new place were quiet. I thought maybe that was it. Maybe the whole thing had been a stress-induced psychotic break. Maybe grief had bled through the walls and I'd gotten caught in it. I was willing to believe anything. Until the 5th night. I woke up at 2:58 a.m. No alarm, no noise, just awake. I stared at the ceiling, waited without meaning to, and at 3 a.m. I heard it again. Knock, knock, knock. This time, it wasn't at the door. It was on the wall, the interior wall, the one that backed onto the next apartment. I held my breath, waited. No follow-up, no voices, just those 3 deliberate knocks. Same rhythm, same pressure, and then silence. I told myself it was a coincidence. Paper-thin walls, weird neighbors. It's a different city, different building. It can't follow me here. The next night, I stayed up, phone recording, sitting in the dark. When 3 a.m. came, the knock came again. Same wall, same spot. I played back the audio. Nothing. Dead silence. Static. Even though I'd heard it as clearly as my own breath. That morning, I asked the tenant next door, young guy, maybe college age, if he'd knocked on the wall during the night. He looked confused. No, I work nights. I'm never home that late. I asked, you hear anything weird? Tapping, knocking, anything at 3 a.m.? He shook his head. I sleep like a corpse. Haven't heard a thing. He paused. Why? You good? I said I was fine. I wasn't. That night, I moved my bed to the other side of the room, as far from that wall as possible. I slept with the lights on, door locked, phone in my hand. It didn't help. At 3 a.m., there was a knock. On the window. 7th floor this time. No fire escape. Nothing but air on the other side. I didn't look. The next morning, I found something at my door. An envelope. No name. No postage. Inside, a single photo. Langley, standing in the hallway of my old building. Face pale, eyes wide. And behind him, just visible in the reflection of the floor, a figure, blurred, long arms, no details, just a black shape standing too close to him. It looked like a still from a security camera, but I had no idea who sent it, or why. I tried calling the old building, told the manager I'd forgotten something in the apartment, hoping for access. He said, that unit's already been filled. New tenant moved in last week. I asked, do you have their number? He hesitated. They moved out 3 days after moving in. I asked, why? He lowered his voice. Didn't say, just left, middle of the night, keys on the floor. I asked, anything happened to them? He said, they left a note, Said someone kept knocking at 3 a.m. I thanked him and hung up. I stayed up the next night, searching online for anything, forums, reports, news articles, anything about unexplained knocking, sleep disturbances, night patterns. I found a thread buried on a conspiracy forum, dated 2012. The post said, "If you hear knocking at 3 a.m. and no one's there, don't open the door. Don't respond. It's not for you." The knocking means someone's marked. They knock 3 times. If you see who's knocking, they leave, but only for a while. If the knocking moves to your windows or walls, it's already inside. No replies. Poster's account deleted. That was 2 nights ago. Last night, I didn't sleep. I sat in the kitchen with a butcher knife and a thermos of coffee. The whole apartment stayed quiet until 2:58 a.m. Then I heard it again. Knock, knock, knock. Not on the wall, not the window, the inside of the bedroom closet. I didn't move for a full minute. The closet door was 10 feet away, closed, silent now. I stared at it like it might blink, like it might breathe. When I finally stood, I didn't go for it. I opened the front door instead and walked out. No shoes, no phone, just a knife in my hand and the cold hallway under my feet. I sat in the stairwell until morning. People passed me by. One woman asked if I was okay. I nodded, but I wasn't. At 8 a.m., I went back in, opened the closet in one motion. Empty, of course. Nothing but a few jackets, a box of winter clothes, an old vacuum. I laughed, actually laughed. For a second, it felt like I'd gone full circle into absurdity. I almost convinced myself I dreamed it all, until I looked inside the box of clothes and found a note, folded in quarters, stained, written in tight, slanted handwriting. You hear the knocking because you're not supposed to be alone. It looks for people who live in high places, top floors, end of halls, corners, rooms with no windows open, the ones no one checks on. When it knocks, it's not asking to come in. It's checking to see if you're still there. Don't answer, don't speak, don't look directly at it. If it starts using the closet, leave immediately. I dropped a note, called in sick, stayed in a cafe all day, didn't go back until it was bright out. That night, I didn't go into the bedroom. I stayed on the couch, no lights, just sat and waited. At 3 a.m., the knocking came again, this time from inside the apartment. 3 knocks, from the hallway leading to the bedroom, inside the walls. I didn't move, not even when I heard the bedroom door creak open. Not even when the hallway floorboards creaked. And then I heard breathing. Slow, shallow, just behind the couch. I kept my eyes shut until sunrise. When I opened them, the apartment was quiet again. Bedroom door closed, closet door shut. But the smell... The air was wrong, like mildew and dust and something old that hadn't seen light in years. I packed my bags that morning, didn't bother cleaning, left half my stuff behind. That was 2 days ago. I'm in a motel now, ground floor, corner room, windows open, lights on. Last night, I woke up at 3 a.m. again, not to knocking, but to silence. And that silence felt off, like the room was waiting for something. Then I saw it. Not a person, not a shadow, just the closet door. It was open. I know I closed it. There were no knocks this time, And that's what's been eating at me all day. Because maybe the knocking wasn't the problem. Maybe the knocking was the warning. And now it doesn't need to knock anymore, because now it's already in.
You heard it too, didn't you? That knock. It always comes in threes. Thank you for staying with me by the fire tonight. I hope you make it to morning. Come back next time. There's always room for one more. And tell me, what would you do if someone knocked at your door at 3 a.m. and no one was supposed to be there?